Dive on into Historic. Overall, I've been enjoying Historic. I like non-rotating formats. I like Arena. Playing a non-rotating format on Arena is like mixing chocolate with my peanut butter, so I've been enjoying it from that perspective. That being said, this format is a little bit green at the moment. Would not mind if this card went away, but while it's legal, we're definitely going to be playing it. So this is Sultai Cauldron Familiar here. So we've got Cauldron Familiar paired with kind of an elemental package here. Risen Reef, Leafkin Druid, Cavalier of Night, Yarok. And we've also got Journey to Eternity here, which is pretty sweet with Witch's Oven. So Journey to Eternity says, when enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control, and then return Journey to Eternity to the battlefield flipped. So like, normally it was really hard to enable this card in Standard. But the fact that Witch's Oven is just like this constructed playable way to sacrifice a creature on demand seems really, really sweet. Like, you could theoretically go like, Oven on 1, Cat on 2, Journey on 3, sack Cat, flip Journey, and then like ramp into a 5-drop on 4. So, interested to see how this deck goes. Journey to Eternity seems like it slots really elegantly into these historic cat decks. I don't know if, I'm not sure if like the elemental package in this deck is ideal, but I do think slotting Journey to Eternity in the cat package is great. Like I'd kind of be surprised if I would kind of be surprised if the blue cards are better than like Mayhem Devil and stuff. Flash! Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for the 12 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm gonna keep this on the draw. We got Scry too. His hand hits a second land. It's quite good. I just want the record to reflect that anybody who comes in here and tries to give me unintelligible crap for having said blue-green flash is bad all season, you're gonna get a timeout, because the blue-green flash deck that had an absurd win rate at the Mythic Championship this weekend is fundamentally different than the blue-green flash decks that we've been calling bad all season. And if you don't understand that, you don't deserve to be in chat. In fact, the reason why the deck was so good is not only were there good players playing it, but those good players cut all of the cards that were bad from the Flash archetype and put a bunch of good cards in it. They added Hydroid Crisis and Nissa. And they added Paradise Druid. It's weird. It's weird that the bad deck becomes good when you cut all the bad cards and put in a bunch of good ones. Untapped land here is actually great. We get to go Oven, Cat, Leafkin Druid number 2. Yeah, maybe, Percy. I'm not convinced that, I don't know. I feel like with Cavalier, the Black Cavalier consistently giving you Mayhem Devil in play, I think Bantu might still be better. Corvald has to untap to do a thing. Bantu just has to resolve. So like, Corvald's definitely not bad. It's a fine card. But I definitely have been happy with the mix of 5-drops in my build. Corvald draws 3 to 5 cards on Enter the Battlefield. Sometimes. Not always. What are they holding up here? They don't have double blue. So, like, why are they passing with this up? If they had a once, they would just cast it, right? Main deck Aether Gust in this format too, huh? Yep, sure. They could have that plus ones. Do I alternate sitting and standing when I stream? I do Magical Gatherings. I have a desk with motors in the legs. So I split my time about 50-50. Day off, so I get to watch the live stream. Thanks for the content. Thanks for the 14 months, Big Beanie. I appreciate that. Welcome back. God, this card just seems absurd in this archetype. Thanks for the 14 months, Big Beanie. No, my opponent's got some lands. If you're someone who works an office gig, I would highly recommend a standing desk. Take care of your body. It's worth the investment. I would not recommend the Uplift brand that I have because the electronics in it are kind of crappy. But in general, standing desks are worth the pickup. So we get to sack this, which triggers Journey. So Journey flips over. And then I get to do this. Yeah, Journey's basically a 3-mana ramp spell with upside here. It's really huge. You made coffee and Modern was over. Yeah, we played Neoshul Brand. Deck plays leagues real quickly. All right, now the question's gonna be, can we survive? Oh gosh, they have an Oko too. That we might not be able to beat.
Welcome to the feast.
All right, so this costs 5 to activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I shouldn't have jump blocked there. Yeah, but I need to
Open your heart to the magic that dances around you.
I have to trophy the Nissa, so like I'm just not activating the Journey this turn is basically what it comes down to. Wonder if they keep attacking me or if they try and pressure Oko off the table here. Cavalier of Night would be an ideal draw. We got 3 of those in our deck. Yarok would also be okay, because it's just... I guess Yarok's actually not very good because of Oko. Yeah, I like the idea of what this deck is doing, but the Yarok aspect seems kind of medium. I think I just do this, right? Because it keeps them from getting a 3/3. Yeah, I don't know that the blue aspect of this deck is good, but I really like the idea of I'm gonna trade these. Well, the top of their deck's real good, chat. No cards, draw Hydra increases. Yep. How is the land of Lincoln? I come from the land of the ice and snow. No, we played Modern for almost an hour. Gosh, people are not used to real Modern decks, huh? Everybody's like, why is Modern done already? Because we played a real Modern deck. We played 5 entire matches. It was great.
Your new look is enchanting.
If I block here, I'm taking 16. Feels dead, man. One black Cavalier, please. We're dead no matter how I slice this, right? I can go block, block, gain 3, be at 10. I'm taking, yeah. You played a league in less time than a match lasts in paper. You're not wrong. Hey, look, someone put 4 Noxious Grasp in my sideboard. God bless. God bless. I'm gonna cut my Yarelks. I'm gonna bring in my Noxious Grasps. So Gendy, to teach you how to be results-based, not be results-based, like be constructive, talk about problems we could fix. I think cutting Cavalier would be silly, because if we'd have drawn Cavalier there to be results-based, like, Cavalier would have been fine there. I think Massacre Girl in the 75 sounds great, though, for sure. Why is Wizards not managing the ban list of an unrotating format on their premier online play client? They are. Pioneer is super well managed. You played Mono Green, Devotion, and Historic. No, there's no Devotion cards in this format. Wizard of the Coast has basically always tried to incorporate popular streamers into their Magic events. I am not someone you will ever see invited to their things. Wizards of the Coast does not like to work with me. Wizards actually not only invited Croakies, but they invited Mogwai too, both streamers who made deep runs in the last MCQ, but then ultimately missed on tiebreakers. I did the same thing for MC5 and got nothing. In fact, my record in the MC5 MCQ was better than Croakies and better than Mogwai. I literally missed on tiebreakers. I mean, I don't even know that it's fair to say that we butt heads so much that like Wizards is a pretty typical like old boys club. Like as with most things in life, like who you know and who likes you is more important than like what you do and how good you are at things. So like there are people at Wizards of the Coast that do not like me, so that means that I will never get anything from them, and that's okay. We're fine without them. I liked my oven opponent. We'll be all right without them. As long as Twitch has my back, I'll be here. It's not a mistake that I'm the most subscribed to Magic creator on Twitch. People appreciate what I do even if Wizards does it. Hey, look at that. Back to our regularly scheduled baking show. Yeah, Bib. And like that, at the end of the day, that just doesn't matter. If you had trophied the elf while the dino was on the stack, would that have saved the oven for the turn and turned off the beast? No, because they would float mana. It's also just not a good play. Even if I could do that, I'm not really interested in using a trophy to kill an elf. They also would have gotten a land from the trophy. Yep. So it's bad for a variety of reasons. I have two criteria for Magic streamers: good at talking about the game and hot. Well, I don't know about the second one, but I'm definitely above average at talking while I play. Yeah, I was actually talking about that with some folks last night. I don't have strong opinions on Wizards' organized play system just because it doesn't impact me directly, but the fact that making it to the finals of two different Mythic Championships didn't qualify Brad Nelson for Worlds is kind of awful. I also think it's kind of weird that they're calling the tournament a Worlds tournament and like there aren't any APAC players in it. Like having a Worlds tournament and not having slots for different regions seems like a big miss. So with the second trophy, I think we want to kill a Lovestruck Beast now. We're just taking a little bit too much damage otherwise. I was a little bit hesitant to pull the trigger when I just had one trophy, because I want to be able to kill an Oko or a Nissa if they draw one of those, but I do think killing a Lovestruck Beast here is important so I don't just die. I believe there used to be regional slots for Worlds, but don't quote me on that because I don't really follow Magic's organized play super closely. We've drawn pretty medium so far. Their draw also hasn't been great, right? I guess they've just had like mana and Lovestruck Beasts. The person that was asking about details of what we played in Historic, you can always find everything that we've played in Historic on my website and my YouTube channel. Click videos Historic on there. We play enough stuff that it all kind of blurs for me. It's pretty sweet. It's on MTG Goldfish, underplexed. Cat, it's for dinner. Historic does not have a ban list. Hopefully it gets one before long. There was so little aggro at MC7, which makes Simic Flash much better. Maybe. I'm not convinced that with Nissa, aggro still has a good matchup against the Flash deck. I feel like with Aether Gust and Nissa, I would be surprised if that deck's that bad against aggro. I'm gonna eat the Leafkin and just bring the cat back. Yeah, Kavartek's deck was fairly aggressive, and he kind of just got dumpstered. Nah, I think seeing one cat is important enough that I don't want to cut any. Getting cat plus oven early also ensures that you can block their aggressive threat, so I think leaving all the cats in is ideal. If you want to update that back to explain what they do, Marty, that would be fine. Rude.
I will invert the world to watch kings grovel and worms rule. Let's broaden your existence.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. So there were three big Pioneer tournaments this weekend. We had 2 PTQs and a challenge event. Because Magic Online gets everything and Magic Arena gets effectively nothing. It gets ignored. I'm not salty, you're salty. Go ahead and kill Loco here. I mean, to be fair, I think the current organized play is mostly fine. I think a lot of the issues with current organized play is that there's just not enough of it on Arena. The fact that the premier tournament client for Digital Magic is Magic Online kind of sucks. Wall V, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people who could ship that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for shipping it my way. We do have quite the trophy case at this point. Opponent's got the... I don't have a particularly quick clock, and opponent's got this Castle Vantress to increase their card quality, so while we're a little bit ahead right now, my opponent can definitely catch back up in a hurry. Should we have a countdown for Pioneer being legal on Arena? No, I don't think that's necessary at this point. I think the amount of time and effort it's going to take to make that happen makes it not worth it. Spirit of Odin, thanks for the 3 months. It might be right to trophy the castle here. I don't know. Feel like I'm supposed to hold the trophy for their next actual threat. Yeah, I mean, MC7 was the first arena tournament with the relevant format, right? Like, the Mythic Invitational was a made-up dumpster fire format. The other 2 arena invitationals this year have had formats that were about to be rotating or banned, right? So, like, MC7 was the first time we've had an experience like that, right? Journey to Eternity's pretty good here. Yeah, they could decline, but then they're down to land, Steric. Journey seems incredibly sweet here. Been impressed with this card so far. One Tail, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia. Thanks for keeping me around. I didn't cast a spell, right? It's like they don't even draw, they just protect their thing, which is fine. This costs 5 to activate, right? So I can't do that yet. The Simic Flash decks that were bad before the PT are still bad after the MC. The different Flash deck that had a number of innovations in it that was played at the MC is good. It's weird. When you put a bunch of good cards in a deck, the deck suddenly becomes good. How fucking strange is that? When you cut all the cheeky cards and add Nissa and Hydroid Crisis, your bad deck becomes good. Weird. Yeah, probably, Steric. It's probably a good suggestion to hold on to the trophy. I also kind of wanted to play around I don't know, I could beat most of their planeswalkers here, right? Oh, your ears are having a problem? All right, I'll give you a break. Thanks for the 9 months, Dr. Jack. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Huh?
Open your heart to the magic.
We're blowing up the land rather than the 5/5 because the 5/5 can kill my 4/5 in combat, and I kind of want this to die so I can keep bringing it back with the Cave of Eternity over here. Without a sacrifice outlet here, like, imagine if this Oko had been a Corvald, or like a Bantu, or like another Cavalier of Night. Or Trail of Crumbs. Yeah. Vraska. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like the blue cards, we're gonna play a couple of matches with the blue cards just to get a feel for them. But I feel like there's a good chance the blue cards aren't good. I believe the arena overlay is active. Arena overlay claims to be on and working. Man, the top of their deck has just been gas. I guess that's what happens when you have Castle of Antris, though. Thanks for 11 months, Rhino. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
Walk with me, sing with me. I will enlighten you.
Feels like a good example here of, like, us just successfully, like, their top end just being better than ours, right? Like, we got our top end engine going with Cave plus Cavalier, and it's just worse than, like, Nissa Hydroid Crisis.
You fear your true.
Killing my Cavalier seems kind of loose on their part. Like, it's to bring back the cat and then bring back the Cavalier. Oh, I should have chumped with... No, that doesn't make sense. That's not very good. Oh. Feels kind of dead, man.
Welcome to the feast.
Yeah, the lack of card draw here is not stellar for us. Feel pretty dead. I'm gonna trim these trophies for now. A couple more ways to bin these things at the top end sounds good. I'm gonna put another Cavalier in. Card seems great. Just have more ways to leverage our journey once it flips over. Maximize that effect, basically. Actually messed up my Amazon Prime account last month, but now I'm back. Well, thanks. Welcome back, Flying. I appreciate the 10 months. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Oh, right. We're going to try some Massacre Girl. I'm going to write that down. I'm gonna take the Reef. Sick. Good beats. Morning, C-Lab. Excellent job having the dork on top, right? It's a true skill game with which we engage. Sick. That's a good one, yeah. This card probably wins this matchup pretty close to on its own. Yes, sometimes lucky, yep. So I have like a bunch of Doom Blades I want to bring in here. What do I want to cut? The Risen Reef plan is probably too slow and clunky, right? Yeah, cutting some Journey is probably fine. Probably don't need to see that. Like, as that game showed, like, just Cavaliering them's probably going to win a lot of the time. Thanks for the 13 months, Dale in. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I definitely want some Massacre Girls in here. Get 2 to 3 of those in the 75, I think, after this game. After this match. Sure. Need some black sources, but I've got a Once Upon a Time. What am I supposed to cut for the Disfigure Zimbot? Remember, sideboarding's not about just bringing in all the cards that seem good. It's about having your best 60. What am I supposed to cut, and why do you think I should cut that? They're really low to the ground, Robber of the Rich. So yeah, Disfigure seems good potentially, but like, what's the trim? Yeah, I agree, Gully Seagull. Once will hopefully not be legal in any format soon. Well, any relevant formats. Okay, we hit the Leafkin, and then like I've got Oko into Cavalier, but this is probably going to be too slow on the draw, huh? Is Legion Warboss going to get real aggressive real quick? Honestly, Veil of Summer is way more offensive than Once Upon a Time. But they could both stand to go, yeah. I think there'll be updates for Pioneer today. I have no idea. It depends on what the big events this weekend look like. And we won't have data for those for a little bit. Should get information from those later today. Yarok's like okay, but like Cavalier's better than Yarok, and I just don't think I want 6/5 drops here. Things that are never constructive, being like, you should have kept that card because it would have been good in this narrow situation. In a different lifetime, I have Golden Demise. I boarded it, and they have a bunch of Gruul Spellbreakers and Questing Beasts. You can justify any card by looking for its best case scenario and being like, see, the card's good. This is its best case scenario. Yarok's life gain is relevant if you can get there, but you do also run the risk of just having too many 3, 4, and 5 mana things in your deck against the aggro deck and not living to get there is the issue. He introduced a new format where all the green cards are banned. Something like that. This is probably Journey on the bottom right. Anything other than a cat that's not a land is going to the bottom here. So they have Veil of Summer. Yay, Magic. Hoping to draw untapped land next turn. Hoping to draw untapped land for the next 3 turns, just like curve Oko into Cavalier. How many Burning Tree Emissaries do you have? Don't print green cards for the next 2 sets, right? Listen, chat, it's not like they just banned 3 incredibly powerful green cards and then had a green deck with an almost 70% win rate at their major tournament. Because that would be absurd. Some of this is probably great. All right, let's try one more with this. But I'm kinda ready to be off this. I feel like the blue cards just aren't doing anything meaningful. The elemental, the Yarok package seems real clunky and awkward. Journey with Oven feels quite excellent, but Risen Reef just doesn't seem powerful enough. Risen Reef in a deck with as low of a land count as this one hand has is kind of medium. The Leafkin Druid feels worse than Gilded Goose. Like, imagine if this hand is just like has Gilded Goose in it. Yeah, and like, again, like, remember, Historic's still very young as a format, so like, when we're exploring decks in a new format, I try not to focus on the specifics of the deck list so much as interactions in those decks that I like. And I definitely, like, have a takeaway from playing these games of that, like, Journey to Eternity is hot fire with the Oven deck. So, like, working on Journey with Oven in general sounds like something that's very much worth exploring in this format. Golgari Reanimate seems hot with a lot of Undergrowth cards. In general, I'd just say don't play bad cards. Because that recommendation sounds like you want to play a bunch of bad cards. Hey, Jethrin, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Skunky Blitz, thanks for the 5. Planeswalkers are busted? Maybe. Planeswalkers are okay.
So it's a game you're interested in.
What if I do this and then sack this? And then I can shock this in and play this. Like, this interaction here, too. Like, the fact that Oven lets you use Journey as a ramp spell seems really good. See, Percy, I actually think with Oven especially, Journey's probably a fine 4-of. Because it returns the creature to play that you put it on, right? So, like, even if you already have a Journey, it's a reanimate spell. So, like, the floor seems relatively high, all things considered.
With my aim and their claws, you're done.
Like, it's not like it's just textless. Yeah. And again, I just don't have any... I don't have any creatures, right? This deck also feels kind of light on creatures. Yeah, it's a weird flicker is a good way to put it. Agree. Oko, yeah, you know, this is why I hope they give Oko a real chance in, like, these formats. Oko's been kind of unimpressive in these games. Like, the Gruul deck is just so good in this format that, like, this card kind of just gets run down a lot of the time. Once they get rid of Veil of Summer, so you can't just, like, have Cryptic Command for 1 mana to protect him, I would not be surprised if Oko's just, like, fine here. Yeah, I agree. Oko's the type of card that's just, like, powerful enough that could make mid-range decks be competitive in these non-rotating formats. Does anybody know offhand when the next scheduled ban list update is? Is it not scheduled until Theros releases? I don't remember offhand. Oh, I forgot to attack. Whatever. Hey, thanks for the tip, Percy. Build around for Dream Eternity and Historic. Sounds great. Have we played against a deck without once? No, this format's incredibly green. Incredibly green format. December 16th? Really? Okay, sweet. That's exciting. Hopefully we see some historic updates on the 16th. In formats where Once Upon a Time is legal, decks with Once Upon a Time are just more consistent than decks without it. Just how it works. Theros drops at the middle of January. The next Arena MCQ weekend is the weekend before Theros drops. 'Cause timing. And again, like, I have Journey here, but I don't have anything to do with it, right? Like, there's nothing in my bin to get back, which seems a little bit awkward. Like, I feel like this deck doesn't have enough must-kill creatures in it to really leverage Journey appropriately. Sick. Massacre Girl plus Cave is, like, probably pretty close to unbeatable. I don't even know that we need cards that help fill the graveyard so much as I just want to put more good cards in my deck. Like, just putting a bunch of must-kill creatures in my deck sounds better than playing awful cards like Stitcher Supplier. This is going to be a really lukewarm take, but believe it or not, your Magic decks are better when you put more good cards in them. So, like, just by putting a bunch of creatures in your deck that, like, you have to kill this creature or you lose the game, and then, like, having a way to bring those creatures back, is very, very good. So, like, putting Mayhem Devils in and stuff like that, that, like, okay, you have to take this off the table or you die. Like, Corvald, have to kill Corvald or you die. And then, like, having a way to bring back those must-kill creatures, so you have to kill them again and again and again. Yeah, maybe Priest could be okay. Priest also gives you a way to sacrifice the thing you put Journey on. Shaper Sanctuary. That one's gotta go. I'm excited to get Veil of Summered here. Gosh, this draws cards when you Oko their stuff, too. This card's so rancid. Having to play against this card in this format after it was banned in Standard and Pioneer feels so bad. You could go big into Agent of Treachery? Yeah, that could be hot. Because Journey kind of ramps you to it too, right? We have no idea, Rexbox. That could be the case, but they haven't been. I'm just gonna draw 400 cards and I can never win. At least they don't draw a card from that one, I guess. Morning, Sarah. I don't have enough fodder, so like this Cavalier of Night doesn't currently do anything. Gosh, they have Shapers and Veil. They really don't want people killing their stuff, huh? We'll do Space Monkey.
I will protect the virtue of this world.
All right, didn't have a third Veil. God bless.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I just had someone named Blood Crypt with a Sorcerer's Spyglass. Did it have an Underworld connections on it?
Walk with me, sing with me. I will enlighten.
Walk with me, sing with me.
I've survived an apocalypse. I will survive you.
I will survive your. Alright, so we're going to 18. Oko's dying. We can draw an untapped land here. We could maybe get out of this still. Cavalier, Massacre Girl, Journey could be real good. Alright, we're at 19. They can just brick for a second turn or two. We can draw a land. That's basically a brick, right?
Oh, I am gonna
Yikes.
love tearing this place to the ground.
Yep. Taking 10 here.
This will be fun to watch.
So dead next turn. I guess I'm gonna eat this, so we're not dead next turn. Oh, magic. Yeah, the Simic decks in this format are definitely reminiscent of the Simic decks from... Definitely reminiscent of the Simic decks from before they banned things in Standard. Overall, my takeaway was, again, just to have a concise one at the end, these cards felt pretty mediocre. These 3 cards, probably with Cavalier thrown into, like this 4-card package seems potentially very, very good, and I'm interested to explore this idea inside of other shells in this format. And we had Percy make a donation to have us explore this in another package, so we'll get that back to that on another historic day, probably later this week or next week, depending on what the queue looks like. I forget exactly what's in there at the moment right now. That being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap on Sultai Cat. We're going to head on into our next deck of the day. I'm going to go ahead and roll a quick ad break while we get set up for this. We're going to play some Teamer Dino Frenzy up next here. So back in a few, folks. Thanks for hanging out today.